Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Hello, Silver Squad. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing fine. Hey, Jennifer, you're first to that damn show tonight. Let's give you a crown. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Let me just go over here. So I posted over in the other thing. Let me come. Whoa, there it is. Let me mute myself over here because good Lord Almighty. I'll talk to y'all over here. There you go. Hey, Cement Shoes. Hey, Jennifer. What's up? Can y'all hear me? If you can, drop a one down below. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm just going to say my little spiel that I always do over on here. That we do for the live chats and stuff. So first of all, if you are joining, whether you're coming from the main channel or here, this is one of my live chats. The vibe over here is we're just talking, we're saying hello, we're saying what's going on. For this specific one, we are talking about case updates. So the way it will roll is I'm going to be putting, after we say hello, everyone gathers, all that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to be putting some articles up, sharing them on the screen, and we're going to talk about some just updates that have happened while I have been out of town down in Gainesville. A lot's been going on in the true crime world. So just so everybody knows, if you follow the Daybell case, they are going to be in court this Tuesday, I believe. Lori and Chad will be in the same courtroom. It should be interesting. And so there's that. Don't forget, if you're subscribed to this channel and my main channel, all the links are below. And there's that. So let me just say hello to everybody who's joining into the room. Hello, Justice, Samantha, and Jennifer. Hello, Heather. Hello, Leah. Hello, Larissa. Hello, Tina. Hello, Connie, and hello again, Jennifer. Hello, Leah. Hello, Prince Charming. Hello, Karen. Hello, Lori. Hey, Medea. What's up? Hey, Alan. How's it going? Louisa, Jean, Heather. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the damn sofa. I hope everybody's doing good. So Leah, I posted on the I guess maybe just the members on Patreon. Like I stopped by the thing, the mural on the place where, if you're familiar with UF and Gainesville, they have this kind of sidewalk where all the little things on the wall are different murals, and they have one dedicated to the victims of the Gainesville Ripper. So I posted that in I think the members in the Patreon thing. I kind of that section I do more personal stuff over there. So I posted and updated people a lot on what was going on there. I had a blast in Gainesville, went down there to see my cousin, and wonderful seeing her. It was a great time. We got to catch up. We went to a charity event for Ronald McDonald House. That was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of people from my old days in Gainesville. So that was wonderful. And got to see I guess my second cousin is what she is, my cousin's little daughter. So that's always great to be able to see her and what she's doing. So, it was all fun. And that's that. Now, y'all, this camera, and I just heard it do it again. So whatever reason, this camera keeps saying it's going in and out. So we're just going to go ahead and change it because we are just going to do that. And so we're going to say this. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm coming back, I swear. We've switched to the other camera because this one, I swear, y'all, this one keeps undoing itself. So we're hanging on by. And you know what's funny is I was sitting here shopping for a new webcam. I was shopping for a new webcam, sent it to my cousin's husband, was like, is this decent? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have had this new webcam for years. And I was like, if I'm going to be doing these live chats more, I need to get a nicer webcam. So this is the laptop when y'all are going to have to watch on here. I'm sorry, because this just keeps disconnecting. It's finally dust, I guess. Oh, well. Anyways, thank you, Cunning. I appreciate it. We had fun dressing up. It was called the Red Shoe Affair, the Red Shoe Event. And so we actually went out. I bought some red dress shoes. And which is like, when are you ever going to wear those? But definitely will actually wear them to work at some point because they actually ended up working. It was a lot of fun, and it was fun to be able to dress up. And not just that, but the cause, if you're not familiar, Ronald McDonald House is like a place where families who are having like serious major doctor stuff going on with very small children, it provides a place to live and eat so that they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff while their children and whatnot are going through it. I mean, it gives me goosebumps. I mean, the things that the families go through, y'all, is just, it's really, really sad. So it's good that there's an environment or places like this to provide that, right? And so it's a charity for that. So it goes to help the families out so they don't have to worry about stuff like that while they already got God only knows what going on. You know what I'm saying? Um, Okay, so Leah says, "Oh, I love Ronald McDonald House. My son was in NICU for 3 months, over an hour from home. So I stayed at one 14 years ago. It was nice, and the people were also see. This is exactly, yeah, so Leah. Yeah, every Ronald McDonald House I've dealt with, which is not a ton, y'all. Up here in North Carolina, and I don't know if y'all know this, or somebody said it in the comments too. But my mom's RV group, they collected the little tabs off of oh well, right here, these things, and donate them to the Ronald McDonald House. And I guess maybe they recycle. I don't know what you do. You get money for them or something. I volunteer with a group who would go there and cook the family's dinner. There's so many different things you can do. So it's a great thing to look into if that's something you feel like, you're looking into further. Thank you, Perfect Imperfection. I do appreciate it. That's really sweet of you. So there's that. And now let's go ahead and talk about some of the things, and then we'll talk more about some updates, all that kind of stuff, and do that. So here we go. I just got a few things to pull up. Let's talk with the first one. Let's talk about Ann Heche. How do you say her name, Heche or Heche? We collected over, Tina says we collected over 100 pounds of pull tabs for dialysis. That's amazing, Tina. That is a lot. That is awesome. It's amazing. You don't ever think about it, but like if you have a group or like, whatever, and you start just like letting people know that you collect these, it's a thing. Okay. It adds up. Right. And it does a lot of good. H. Okay. Thank you, Gene. So what I'm going to do is just go over here and share the screen, but actually right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into talking about some of the updates, things like that. And what I'm doing with these live chats, because usually how I do it, like pre-record and all that kind of stuff. What do you call it? It's just busy at work and traveling and all this. And so by the time I could ever pre-record something to talk about it, it'd be 3 weeks old, right? So this is just a good way to catch up and then talk about this stuff or whatever. So we're going to do that now. And then afterwards, I'll tell you what I'm working on with the other channel and what's going on over there. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's say, okay, please hold. Okay, share screen. I'm just coming over here. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing. And Heather says, Paul, will you let us know if you're selling tickets for next year's CrimeCon? Heather, I will. And have y'all heard from any other creators while I'm looking for this thing to share that are already selling them? Because I haven't heard back from them yet. The way I understand it is they pick me to be there as like a person with a booth or something. Then I have the option to do that. So definitely 100% will, because it could help the Sofa Squad get there and be able to do all that. So yeah. But I have not heard back from them yet. And welcome, Apple Blossom. It's Apple Blossom's first time to the live chat. I hope we don't disappoint you. Okay, let's see here. Chrome tab. We're going to go over to all right, here we go. And what I wanted to speak about is this. Well, there's a couple of things with her, actually. But this one about her son speaking out, because I wanted to. And so these articles, y'all, I have not looked at. I literally flew in this afternoon a few hours ago. So I have not really looked into this stuff, right? So there's that. And what I mean by that is we're kind of reading these together for the first time, okay? So here we go. Thank you, Cunning. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me go over to this page so we can read it together. Excuse me. So Anne's eldest son Homer speaks out. After her death, I'm left with a deep, wordless sadness. So as we know, Anne has succumbed to her injuries. And so she was put on basically, like if you're going to end up if you're going to pass and they're going to use your organs, your brain dead, all that kind of stuff, they'll keep your body alive till they do all that stuff. So this is what they did with her. But Anne succumbed to the injuries of this car wreck. It was horrifying. The video footage was horrifying. Luckily, nobody else was injured. Honestly, shocked nobody else lost their life in this. I'm going to be honest. It was that scary. And all in the midst of this, I don't know if y'all saw, there was the other woman who ran through a light. And this is how quick this stuff can happen. And what did she kill? 6 people? And she wasn't drunk or anything. I think she had gotten in a fight with her boyfriend, but correct me if I'm wrong. So let's just read through this real quick. And again, this is by Dory Jackson and Elizabeth Leonard. It was published August 12th. And it's just about what her son Homer has to say. And it says he's speaking out after his mother's untimely death. People confirmed her death on Friday. The 20-year-old expressed sadness amid an emotionally challenging time for his family. My brother Atlas and I lost her mom, he says in a statement shared with People. After 6 days of almost unbelievable emotional swings, I am left with a deep, wordless sadness. Hopefully, my mom is free from pain and beginning to explore what I to imagine as her eternal freedom. I mean, that's beautiful. Homer then shares his appreciation for those who have sent love their way. Over those 6 days, thousands of friends, family, and fans made their hearts known to me, he continued. I am grateful for their love, as I am for the support of my dad, Coley, and my stepmom, Alexi, I hope I'm saying that right, who continue to be my rock during this time. Rest in peace, Mom. I love you, he added. Heche, shared son Homer with ex Coley LaFoon and son Atlas 13 with ex James Tupper. And where are we? The Emmys rep confirmed her death to people on Friday. She was 53, so young. Today we lost a bright light, a kind and a most joyful soul, a loving mother and a loyal friend, a rep for the actress said on behalf of her family and friends. And it just goes into talking about, more of this. It says on August 5th, she was involved in 2 car accidents in Los Angeles area. She first crashed into an apartment garage, but drove off, only to crash into tenant Lynn Michel's home, making it uninhabitable as it was engulfed in flames. Heche was left in critical condition. She sustained burns from the fire and subsequently transported to a local hospital where she was intubated. She has a significant pulmonary injury requiring mechanical ventilation and burns that require surgical intervention, a rep for the actress told People on Monday. She is in a coma and has not regained consciousness since shortly after the accident. And so there's that. So let me come back over to my screen over here real quick, and we're just going to end this, and we'll talk about it for a second. Stop the screen. There we go. And thank you, Victoria Holdsworth. I greatly appreciate it. And Roscoe appreciated that going to his little snacking fund. And then it's so sad to hear, these things, because one thing that I did read in a lot of the comments, and I felt a lot of people felt a lot of different ways, because when you see the video, of her flying through these neighborhoods at ungodly speeds, it's so scary, and it angers you and it scares you and it does all these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it is like, my God, when you see the neighborhoods, these are like where kids could be playing all this kind of stuff. And again, it's a miracle that nobody else was injured in this, Then when you start peeling the layers back to a situation like this and you see the reasonings behind this, the pain, the suffering, and the family members, her son, all these people, it's just sad. It's sad to see someone leave this earth at such a young age. Because as y'all know at this point, time flies, y'all. It flies. The older we get, the quicker it goes, right? And so it's just like, oh my God. And it's such a horrifying way, right? That was so hard. But that video, when they wheeled her out from the thing and she like flew up out of the bag, that's horrifying. Okay. I feel so bad for her family. But like what her son said, that's a beautiful way to say it. That maybe she's in a better spot. Because any spot, whatever had a grip on her, it just wasn't good. Pardon me. Excuse me. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. So, I just feel like that kind of pain, that kind of addiction. And I don't know, again, I didn't know, honestly, I hadn't thought of her in a long time, and I'm not trying to say that in a negative context or whatever, but it was just one of those things where she just kind of fell off the map in my world, right? I get older, I don't keep up with, I can't tell who's even famous anymore, right? And so, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? So I hadn't even thought about her. It's when I saw this, I was like, what? Like, the name, I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about her. And one thing that I thought was interesting too is, I don't know if y'all saw this, but when I saw and I don't know, a paparazzi person, whatever, was following Ellen DeGeneres around. It was basically like, what do you have to say? Or, whatever do you. And Ellen was being very diplomatic because, Ellen's gotten a lot of bad press lately. And so Ellen was being very much like, I don't want to see anyone hurt. And I read into it like her saying, I don't want to see anyone hurt. Like I think most of us would say, because the video of her driving, and I think Jean just said she nearly missed a woman as she drove out by that video of her where she barely missed that woman. You're like, it's scary. It's really, really scary, right? Because again, go back to this woman who just ran that light, and I think it was LA, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. And you see, it's like a fiery flame. Babies lost their lives in that, y'all. This could have easily been the case here again. It's horrible. So it's horrible. So there's that. Let me get rid of this thing right over here. And then let's kind of like go over to, and speaking, I was gonna say, let's go over to more of like a dumb criminal type thing, but I've got a good one to show y'all, a TikTok that I just found. We'll do it at the end, because I was like, what am I even watching? I was like, really? So we'll look at that at the end, but let me share the screen over here. What we're going to talk about is Alec Murdaugh's, alleged accomplice. His bond's been revoked, y'all, and I'm just like, how? What? 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 You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, how does this even happen? Okay. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. Share screen. I was like, what's going on over there? That's my phone. I forgot to silence it. I'm sorry. Okay, so Chrome tab, and we are looking for bond revoked for alleged. Yep, there we go. Share. Okay. Let me make sure y'all are seeing the same thing I am. There we go. Bond revoked. Yep. All right, so here we go. Okay, so this is by Alec Murdaugh. So this is a WRAL and by NBC. So this is like an article they got or whatever, published August 12th. So this guy right here, if you're seeing him, this is the dude. So Alec Murdaugh is a disgraced lawyer in South Carolina. He has been recently charged with the murders of his son, his wife, all this stuff, right? All the scandal, all this type of stuff. Well, he did this whole plot to hire thing of making it look like he was like, somebody took him out, but it was like this bizarre, I'm going to take my own life in this way thing. And this was his accomplice, this dude. The dude says he wasn't. He was set up, the whole 9 yards. Well, this dude's bond has been revoked. So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This case, I cannot with this. Okay, so let's talk about it. So a judge revoked bond Thursday for a man accused of involvement in an insurance fraud scheme with prominent South Carolina lawyer Alec Murdaugh. Curtis Eddie Smith was charged earlier this year with 4 counts of money laundering, 3 counts of forgery, and criminal conspiracy. An indictment said Murdaugh gave Smith hundreds of checks with the common understanding that Smith would convert the checks into cash. The indictment states that over a number of years, the proceeds went to Murdaugh's benefit with the intent of carrying on and concealing myriad unlawful activities. Prosecutors asked for the bond revocation Thursday, saying that Smith misrepresented his financial situation and had violated his house arrest conditions. Smith was led away in handcuffs after the judge's decision. Smith was previously charged in a scheme where Alex allegedly gave Smith a gun and told Smith to shoot him. Investigators said the purpose of the shooting was to let Murdaugh's son collect a life insurance policy up to $10 million. The shooting happened after Murdaugh's wife and his other son were killed in a shooting near their home. He has since been charged with the murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime in their deaths. Hold on, I get sneeze. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. That's it. Hold on. Let me get back over here to y'all. Okay, go over here. Let's stop sharing. So, again, y'all, we saw it coming, right? We saw it coming. The fact that, this took place or whatever, excuse me, pardon me. the fact that the dude has had his stuff revoked, the fact that, because at first, I'll say this. So his story of, I didn't mean to do this. Alec called me. He wanted me to come over to this area. I didn't know what was going on. I got there. There was a struggle. The gun went off. It sounded and sounds slightly believable. When you start, because with Alec, I'm like, you can't believe anything he says, right? This guy is like a pathological murdering liar, okay? So I'm like, 100% I could see him doing this. However, when you start peeling the layers back of everyone involved around Alec Murdaugh and all these schemes and scamming, and look at how many people are going down around him, this guy starts to look even more suspect, right? Because I'm just like, okay. So there's that. We'll see. More and more people go down on a daily basis around Alec. It is not pretty. Even if and again, this is not a legal thing here. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think even if they were to get him on the murder charges, I can't see him walking out of prison ever again, right? The level of financial crimes this man has committed is insane, okay? And then even just from that, like the plot that he did with this guy, it's all crazy. All right, it's completely crazy. So, pardon me. So yeah, we're just gonna stay tuned on that one. I'm half tempted. Because I'll figure, maybe once we finish talking, we're kind of hangout mode. I'm gonna see how far away this is, because I wouldn't mind possibly looking up to see when like the actual trial is, to possibly go down there. Because South Carolina. I live in North Carolina, so it's not like it's that far. Pardon me. So we'll have to see. Okay, now next on the agenda. Now this one I'm dying to get to, okay, because I have not been able to. I only watched a little bit of the hearing, and then I was like, I was busy. I couldn't get to it. And who I'm talking about is Scott D. and Peterson. So let me get over here and just share the screen so we can read through this, because I've been dying to go through this. Okay, share screen. Yes, share screen. There's so many questions they have to ask, which is fine to share the screen. Scott Peterson, new trial. There we go. Sure. Okay, let me make sure y'all are seeing the same screen I am. Where are you? There you are. Okay, here we go. So now let me go back over here. So this is KRON 4. Scott Peterson's attorneys make closing arguments in a bid for a new murder trial. This was published on August 10th, 2022. It's by Amy Larson. So again, Scott Peterson, let's just go ahead and say this. The last damn name Peterson is infamous, okay? Red flag central at this point, y'all. We've got how many different Peterson? Michael Peterson, Scott Peterson. The list can go on, right? So they have finally been having the hearings about arguing for the new trials. Let's just read this real quick. So Scott Peterson appeared tense in the courtroom Thursday while his defense attorneys made their closing arguments to a judge who will decide if Peterson is granted a new murder trial. Peterson has served nearly 2 decades on death row in San Quentin State Prison after 12 San Mateo County jurors found him guilty of murdering his pregnant wife, Lacey, and their unborn son, and his unborn son in Modesto. Peterson's defense attorneys assert that one of those jurors, Rochelle Nice, was a stealth juror who went on a mission to get justice for Lacey and baby Connor. Nice was nicknamed Strawberry Shortcake throughout the highly publicized 2004 trial for her bright reddish pink hair. Okay, yes, and here she is. Okay, Strawberry Shortcake, the alleged stealth juror. Defense attorney Cliff Gardner highlighted 2 questions in Nice's juror questionnaire in which she gave false answers. Gardner said Nice intentionally lied about her personal history to cover up the fact that she was the victim of domestic violence while pregnant, just like Lacey. Where are we? If Judge Ann Christine Masulo finds that Nice committed juror misconduct, Peterson's conviction will be thrown out and a retrial will be granted. Thursday marked the final day of the juror misconduct evidentiary hearing. Masulo has until mid-December to make her retrial ruling. Earlier in the evening, Nice testified in her own defense. She was granted immunity from prosecution. got a lot to say about that, but let's keep reading. Before the trial, I didn't have any anger or resentment towards Scott, she testified. Her feelings toward Peterson changed after seeing evidence from the trial illuminating how Peterson murdered his wife on Christmas Eve 2002 and dumped her body from his fishing boat into the San Francisco Bay. Prison letters to Peterson. Nice testified that she regrets writing dozens of letters to Peterson in San Quentin State Prison. In the letters, she expresses deep sorrow that his unborn baby, who she nicknamed Little Man, never got to grow up. Nice urged Peterson to confess to the murders and explain why men cheat. Peterson's famous mistress, Amber Frey, was the prosecution's star witness for establishing a motive during the trial. For jury selection, Nice was asked, do you have any opinions about people involved in extramarital affairs? She responded, no, but in a prison letter, Nice told Peterson that Eddie Whiteside, the father of her children, made her life hell by cheating with other women. And now here's this, just a little break from Amy Larson. This is a photo of juror Rochelle Nice celebrating in 2005 after Scott Peterson was sentenced to death for murdering his pregnant wife, Lacey. Today's hearing is all about her, whether she was a self-juror who wanted to make sure Peterson was found guilty. Okay. Let me just come over here real quick. Okay, then let me just come back over here. I was just checking out everything. Okay, so there's that. Let's come back. So defense attorney Pat Harris said the prison letters revealed that she had very strong opinions about men who cheat. Gardner pointed out 2 questions from Nice's juror questionnaire that were answered with falsehoods. One question asked, have you ever been involved in a lawsuit? The second question asked, have you or any close friends or relatives been the victim of or witness of a crime? And she answered no to both questions. Evidence presented at the hearing established that Nice obtained a restraining order, which is a type of lawsuit, against Whiteside's ex-girlfriend, in 2000. The ex-girlfriend stalked and threatened Nice while Nice was pregnant with Whiteside's baby. When she was pregnant, she was in fear for her baby's life, Gardner said. Nice wrote in her 2000 restraining order request, Rochelle does not want Marcella to be able to come anywhere near her child after it's born. Rochelle feels Marcella would try to hurt the baby with all the hate or anger she has for Rochelle. A second juror testified during the hearing that Nice was ready to convict Peterson from the moment she walked into the jury deliberation room. She sat down and said, let's get Mr. Peterson for what he did to Little Man, Gardner said. The other jurors told Nice that they were not supposed to reveal their opinions about a verdict until after they had finished deliberating. Questions over the juror questionnaire. In 2001, Nice discovered that Whiteside was cheating on her, confronted him, and a physical altercation broke out. Police arrested Whiteside, and he later pleaded no contest to battery. Nice testified that she did not think of the restraining order incident nor domestic violence incident when she filled out that questionnaire. The county deputy district attorney David Harris argued that there's no evidence of Nice being a stealth juror who went on a secret mission to convict Peterson. David Harris highlighted a moment during jury selection when Nice was leaving the courtroom to be dismissed from jury pool because of financial hardship. Peterson's lead trial defense attorney at the time, Mark Gregos, stopped Nice before she reached the door, and the judge agreed to let her remain in the jury pool. She was trying to leave, David Harris said. If Nice really was on a secret mission, then she's the worst spy. She's had no bias against Scott when she was selected as a juror. That's the facts. Miss Nice is not very good at filling out forms. She made mistakes, but she wasn't hiding anything. They said if she had been accurate and honest during jury selection, they would have picked her as a juror. She says, I interviewed Scott Peterson's sister-in-law today about jurors who testified at his hearing. If he is granted a new murder trial, Jenny Peterson is confident he will be found not guilty. I mean, okay. Oh, Mama Jama. Okay. David Harris said the prison letters only show animosity that Nice felt towards Peterson after the trial was over. He told the judge Nice testified that her therapist suggested she write those. These were written after the trial. Those letters do nothing other than share the anguish that Miss Nice had gone through. This case changed her, and Miss Nice did her job as a juror. David Harris ended his closing argument Thursday by quoting William Shakespeare, "Do not cast away an honest man for a villain's accusation." Peterson's death sentence was overturned by the California Supreme Court, and he was resentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2021. At the resentencing hearing, Lacey's mother, sister, and brother delivered scathing victim impact statements. Peterson didn't want to be married to Lacey anymore, didn't want to be a father, and tried to keep his mistress from finding out that he was married. Lacey's family said in court, Lacey's family called Peterson an evil sociopath and a remorseless killer. His sister-in-law, Janie Peterson, told KRON4 that if he is granted a new murder trial, she has no doubt he will be able to prove his innocence. She said outside the courthouse Thursday, the Constitution guarantees every defendant an impartial jury. As a family, this has been a very long road. We are grateful this day has finally come. Whew, that was a long one. Thank y'all for hanging in on that one. Now, hold on. Let me just stop sharing because I got some stuff to say about that one. Okay. So here's the thing. Now I just want to catch up because I bet now this one's always a heated one, so let's just, this is the Sofa Squad. We're all family here at the damn sofa. Let's just, let's agree to disagree on some things here, y'all. I don't, let's not, I mean, I don't know, we might all feel the same way. And hello to everybody who's joining recently. Okay, here's the thing. Right, wrong, or indifferent. When I hear the story of the juror, this is my opinion. I would be shocked if he doesn't get a new trial. Okay, shocked. I just the stuff from this juror, just a little bit right there. I'm like, yeah, that's really bad. She walks in the jury room and says, "Let's get him for what he did to little man right off the bat." Like slams her damn Louis bag on the table and says, "Let's fry him." I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm again not trying to defend him or anything, but I'm just like, yeah, not a good look. She's writing him letters in prison. Come on. Here's my thing too. Do I think he would? I think it's interesting that Janie thinks he'll walk because I'm just like, I mean, I personally don't. I don't know unless they can't use some evidence or whatever. But here nor there. So I mean, again, I think he'll get a new trial. I'll be very surprised if he does not get a new trial. But I think he would be found guilty again. I think there's some really damning evidence. And I get there's like, the potential intruder, and then there's this and there's that, but there's also some stuff that's just like really, really bad looking. And so, and yeah, Mary says, hold on, Lacey's family having to go through another trial would be so brutal for them. I agree. So you will see. I mean, that one I was just like, I came across it like, playing on Law and Crime or whatever, and I was like, damn, I want to watch this. But I mean, you know how those hearings go, they're like hours long or whatever. So we'll know by the end of the year, I guess. Again, he already got the murder. Now, here's my thing too. I get, not that I'm agreeing with whatever, but I get he's wanting to get out of jail. He's wanting to do his thing. Okay, that's anyone would, doesn't matter if they're guilty or not. Obviously, he's going to be in some kind of protective custody, all this kind of stuff, whatever. He's off death row to do this. This whole thing is going to take a while, right? And has taken a while. I'd be scared to tinker with the idea of getting, I don't know if I'm saying like getting off of death row and being into general pop, if that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This case baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. And not in the way of like a whodunit, but just like the legalities of it, where I'm like, how did we arrive here? But I mean, again, it's just like this is why dotting I's and crossing T's. I mean, my God, right? Okay, now what are the other things I want to talk about here? Please out. The Instagram model. This one, y'all. Okay, let me share it. Okay, the next article that we're going to talk about is the Instagram model finally arrested. Okay, this one. Okay, let me see. Where's share screen, Chrome tab, video shows fight, share. Let me make sure y'all are seen. We got a little routine going. Oh, here we go. So let me go over here real quick. And video. So first of all, video shows fight between Instagram model and boyfriend she's accused of killing in Miami. This is by Gary Dettman. It came out Friday, August 12th. And let me just do this. I am going to play, and then we're just going to mute that. So while we're watching this, y'all, remember, this is the Instagram girl and the OnlyFans girl and all this. So she's pissed. She's hitting him. She's striking him. I mean, Jesus. I mean, she's going in. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's read through the thing. Okay, so prosecutors released a video of a fight in an elevator between an Instagram and OnlyFans model and her boyfriend she's accused of killing. Courtney Cleaney, 26, is behind bars in Hawaii until authorities can extradite her to Miami to face charges for killing her live-in boyfriend, Christian Abumsili, on April 3rd. The new video released by prosecutors shows the couple fighting in an elevator in February. I mean, this is wow. 2 months later, they say Clooney stabbed him at their luxury apartment in Miami, and yeah, if y'all saw the video of that, we'll get to it in a minute. Not the stabbing, but, the aftermath. Prosecutors said the pair had a rocky relationship. Evidence gathered during the investigation of Christian's death showed that since November of 2020, he and the defendant, Clooney, had been involved in an extremely tempestuous and combative relationship. According to CBS Miami, Clooney's defense attorney said the elevator video does not show what prompted the fight. The attorney also described Clooney as a victim of domestic abuse. Police refuted the claim. There's no physical evidence that led us to believe that she was actually physically harmed in any way the day of the event. Clooney waived extradition. She is charged with second-degree murder. She's lucky it was damn second degree. Let me come back over here real quick. Where's stop screen? Okay, there it is. Okay, so here we go. So, okay, let's see. She tried to claim so look at the size of it. Yeah, right. And she had 0 marks. So yeah, I couldn't imagine living like that. I know, right? So when they showed the video of her, I mean, she was covered in blood. Look at how she's going in. So imagine if they were in the kitchen, there was a knife, and she grabbed that, and yet Jean says she started him in a major artery. I mean, and remember, did y'all see the video? Because this like went. I mean, I hate to say this. This like went viral, right? And there's like then the girls who were in some bar in Miami when her dad, the what's her name, the Instagram model, her dad came down after all this, and they're like, "What are you doing down here? You just killed your boyfriend." And she's like, "Da da 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 da." So I guess she's been hiding out in Hawaii, maybe. I don't know, but hopefully justice can come to the surface. Because remember, like one neighbor was like, "Oh, I saw him beating up on her," and then another neighbor was like, "Oh, well, I saw her always hitting on him," and it was like he said, she said, and of course, at the end of the day, he's not around, right? Um, but it was very like, you know, I don't know, but I was just like, oh my God, you always, some of these cases, at least you get, and I say swift, but not swift, but you know, answers or whatever, right? Um, it's just, and this is one of them. Others, we don't get that, right? Now, real quick, I'm not gonna play the whole TikTok because it's like one of those longer ones or whatever. But I am going to pull it up. Has anybody, if is anybody number one on TikTok? Number two, has anybody been having Bama Rush like shoved down your throat on TikTok for the last like whatever? I think it's coming to an end this last week. Hold on one second. Let me just get to my favorites, whatever. Okay, now this camera's bad here. See, it might not work because now this camera's crappy. Anyways, it's not going to work, y'all. It says, man wanted for murder calls cops about dispute over cold McDonald's fries and realize what's coming. Spoiler alert, he gets arrested. And Call Me Chris, I did see that. Are you talking about like on that show that they did? I actually did a video on it, I think, like a while ago. It's like older or whatever. Now, if this is recent that you're talking about, then I need to get in on this, okay? And then hold on, I forgot also to tell y'all. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Please hold, please hold. Yeah, I just added the so there's that mug to the store. So check it out if you're interested in that. I'll do some like sweatshirts, that kind of stuff in closer to October. I've gotten so many requests for this one, and so I finally added it. Hey Elizabeth, how's it going? There's the link to the store. It's all also in my thing. What do you call the thing? Description of the other videos and whatnot. There was something else I wanted to tell y'all about. And let me switch over to this so I can see y'all in like real time chat. Okay, there we go. Somebody said something back here. I wanted to say, but I can't. It's too far back for me to find. Okay, so there's that. Missing Kelly Rodney. Dive team joins search for missing California girl who vanished from campground party. Now this is very this one's very interesting. Missing Kylie Rodney. I hope I'm saying her name right. Dive teams joined search for missing California girl who vanished from the campground party. Now this is Fox News. This just popped up. This is from August 6th. This is old. I don't know why this is in my thing like this on my little news feed. Published on August 10th. Is anybody following this case? She was last seen at Lake Tahoe area campground near the border of California and Nevada around 12:30 a.m. At least 3 dive teams have joined the search for the missing California 16-year-old at the Procere Croak Reservoir near Lake Tahoe. They arrived at the Corndale boat ramp early Wednesday as a search for Rodney. Rodini, how do you say it? Where to go? Entered its 5th day and following fruitless efforts involving K9's land vehicles, aircraft, and boats. The divers were staging in the boat ramp parking lot before planned searches in the areas of the reservoir, which is 60 feet deep and it's at its nadir. Crews told Fox News Digital they plan to search underwater near the shore. A spokesperson for the Placer County Sheriff's Office told Fox Digital News Wednesday morning that there have been no developments in the search overnight. In a joint statement, the sheriff said they assigned 265 personnel to the case. The number of tips received has climbed to more than 300. Wow. She was last seen around 12:30 a.m. Saturday at a party at the Procere family campground within Tahoe National Forest in Truckee, California. Her phone last pinged around 12:33 a.m. Minutes after she last spoken with a friend and one of the lead search organizers, Sammy Smith. Authorities say Rodney and her friend were among more than 100 teens and young adults attending a high school graduation party involving multiple area schools. Police said they suspect there were drugs and alcohol present at the gathering, but are pleading with attendees to come forward with any information. Oh, gosh. Bless her heart. On Tuesday, the sheriff's office released or shared a surveillance image that showed her outfit on the night she went missing. Authorities are now saying she was last seen wearing a black spaghetti strap bodysuit under green Dickies pants, as opposed to a black tank top initially reported. She was also wearing a black grommet belt and black Vans sneakers. Authorities said late Tuesday that as of the 4th day of the searching came to a close. They had not recovered anything they believed belonged to her. Wow. That's so, so many I mean, it's just crazy. She was lasting, I mean, and when it's something like that with a lot of partying, possibly drugs, young people doing their thing, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? It's like anything's possible. Bless her heart. And it's such a time in life. That's what's so sad. You see something that's supposed to be such a, celebratory time in life. You know what I'm saying? Something so exciting, and it ends in this. And not possibly ends in this. I mean, hopefully, obviously, she recovered, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see. She is described as 5'7", 118 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes. She has a tattoo on her ribs of the number 17. She has a nose ring and several other piercings. Okay. Wow. Bless her heart. Let's see now. A couple of things. So this week, now that I'm back, pardon me, a couple of housekeeping things here. Now that I'm back, I'm going to be doing that Diane. So that secondary Diane, excuse me, and secondary Diane Downs interview, like my little kind of reaction type videos I'm going to be doing. I was also listening to a book on Betty Broderick, and I'm going to try and put together a video on her as well. And then some other cases that just kind of jump out to me as well. So that's kind of what's been going on the main channel over there. And then over here, we're just going to keep doing this kind of stuff that we do over here, our little case updates and yada, yada, yada. So, joining in on all that jazz. This week is going to be especially crazy at work because I'm working a whole bunch of days in a row. So I might not be as busy, but we shall see. So that's it. So I hope everybody has a good week ahead of you. Thanks for joining in for all the updates and whatnot, and I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who kept up with me in my trip to Gainesville. I appreciate that. And yeah, is that so? Medea says, watch Betty Broderick on the stand. Is that like something? Is that the part of it that people want to kind of see me? It also sounds like her interview with Oprah was pretty interesting. I kind of want to pick some bits and pieces to put in to tell the story, because there's so much that's been done on her, right? So I don't want to do some like mega deep dive kind of thing, because I just feel like this has been done a lot. But it's also one of those cases that there's just parts to, because here's my thing with Betty. Now I'm going to say this: do I agree with what she ended up doing? No, obviously not. But when I hear the story of how she arrived there, from the beginning of like what took place, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I do think there's like clearly some issues going on there. But when you hear about like all the stuff that her husband was doing and whatnot to kind of run it through the mud, but then also she was doing, I mean, she wasn't helping the situation, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, Jenny says her buttons were pushed until she broke. Yeah, I mean, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh my God. Yes, Sarah Boone. I did several videos on her. We will follow that case, y'all. Oh my God. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate it. Wait, narcissistic abuse by Dan. Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Wait, I watched a video of them yesterday. Are you talking about Tara? Are you talking about what case are you talking about? Betty's not remorseful to this day. She's still pissed. I mean, the whole thing, it was like, okay, do y'all remember that movie Waiting to Exhale? Where in the beginning, like, they're showing like that rich dude, he's getting ready to go to like the company party, and his wife's getting all ready, and like at the very end, he's kind of like, no, you're not going, the new woman is, type thing. And it's like this whole scene, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing, like sadly, that kind of stuff happens, right? Where it's like you've been replaced. and people think they can do that to somebody. I mean, I guess technically they can, right? But it's so wrong. And so I felt like that's what happened to Betty. And it just like totally messed with her, and like push her buttons. And then too, with like the kids and all this kind of stuff, I'm just like, now some of the evidence that came forth where she was like, telling her son, like, you need to get him out of there, so, or her out of there, stuff like that. I mean, I don't agree with that at all, right? Whoops, sorry, everybody. I mean, I just can't. I get to talking, and you already know. Suitcase girl, I think she's doing crazy. And left-handed, if you didn't hear me before, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I don't know if that came through. I don't know how I muted myself, but y'all know me. I do it all the damn time. So yeah, there are. I actually started looking at, and I actually downloaded a book today about a murder here. I don't want to say which one it is because I have this tendency to just keep going and going and going with these cases instead of just. And yeah, Angel says, hope you cover the hearing this week for Val and Daybell. Now you already know I'm going to be working that entire day, but you damn well know that I'm going to try and jump on here to talk with y'all about it just to see, like what happens because what I want to see. I hope they, okay. I really want them to show with the camera angles so we can see what their reactions are to one another, if that makes sense, right? It's been a hot minute for the newlyweds. I'm especially interested in how Lori is towards him. I almost feel like I know. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm interested in both the reactions. I feel like I know what Chad's would be, right? Lori's, I'm very curious. I hope we can see. I hope they give that to us, right? Um, I just really hope, like, I don't want to see this one. Like, I don't want to just show Lori in one thing. I want a wide damn angle lens, okay? I want all the damn tea. Now, who will probably have good, what do you call it? Inside information, and well, first of all, if Kresha, I'm not sure if Kresha is going to be at that hearing or not. If you don't follow her channel, if y'all know Kresha, follow her channel. I don't have the link to it in front of me, but she might be there. I'm not sure. Larry and Kay, they might be there. I don't know all this, right? I haven't been I haven't been like all up in the case recently. I do know that one of the Lori, I cannot remember her name. She's the attorney Lori who's writing the book, and she's on Hidden Crimes channel a lot. I can't think of her last name though. I think she's gonna be there, and so I'd imagine that Hidden Crime would be doing a live chat with her. I don't know if they still do that or not. Like I don't know if that all happens or whatever. But if she's gonna be there, what I'm getting at is she would have some tea on it. And if Crush is going to be there and she can go live, then they would have like somebody who is going to physically be there and they can come on here who has the context of the case and can tell us this is what it was like. Because only these people who know all this context, like we want to know when Chad picked a pen up, what did Lori do? When Lori said this, what did Chad do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see, are they still in La La Land? That's what it all comes down to. Are they still in La La Land? Um, so I'm saying, are they still under each Lori Helis? Okay, that's her name, Lori Helis. Yeah, and Gene says, I think their attorneys told them not to look or make faces, period. And that would make 100% sense. 100% sense. Yeah. Um, and Mary says they're going to blame everything on Lori's brother, Alex. 100% agree. 100% agree. Um, so So yeah, be sure to tune into Cresh's channel. Be sure to tune into if again, we'll find out if she's going to be there live or not. But I would be curious to know her. Pardon me. Her thoughts on it after it happens, and everybody's saying that she's going live. That I don't know if she's going to be streaming it, so be sure and check it out over on her channel. Because she has hold on, let's see. Jennifer says, reporting live from so the pot. I was like, who is that? And it's me. It's been a long day. Crash has a live schedule for that day to hopefully live stream it. Cool, yeah. So be sure and check it out over there. Yeah, Difficult Research. That's her channel name, Difficult Research. If you're not sub to it, make sure to sub to it. Then normally they have the cameras on. I'm sure they'll be aware of how big this is. Oh yeah. And another thing, we talked about this last time. I'm remembering all this stuff now. Damn Letitia Stout's thing being put off again. Can y'all believe that? I mean, and Jenny says, if they show anything other than devotion or ignore one another and their turns, I can see them taking it as a personal slight and going after the other. I know. See, that's so true too. That's so true too. You just don't know, right? It's like, what is in their heads at this point? Because at some point you would think that it's been a couple of years, they haven't been in contact. You know what I'm saying? Like what's up? You know what I mean? But you just don't know with these two, right? I mean, my God, they're absolutely okay. So, side note, when I was down in Florida this weekend, and my cousin's like asking me, like, she's not like true crime or whatever, but she knows what I do or whatever. And so she's asking me about the cases, and so she doesn't like Lori Vallow. That name doesn't. It's like, who's that? And so I literally have found myself trying to even explain, like, trying to wrap up that case in like a 2-sentence, like, here's boom. And I just kept finding myself saying it's so complicated. I mean, yeah, here's the gist of what went down, but it's so much more horrible. It's so much deeper. It's so much more complicated. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was so weird because in our worlds here, like, true crime world, people who follow like the day-to-day, that kind of stuff, we kind of know all that's gone on with this case, right? And so when you run into people who don't, they're like, Lori who, Lori Chad who, zombie what? It's just like, where do you start? And then to see the horror, when you're explaining these cases to people and you know what I mean? Like when I'm talking about, like, okay, so if I say to people who don't know anything, and it was like, okay, so then there's the Letitia Stout case, and somebody's like, well, who was that? And I'm like, okay, well, she's the one who, killed her stepson. And then there's also the Lori Vallow and Chad, the Lori and Chad Daybell thing. And like, okay, who is that? And I'm like, oh, good God, okay, well, grab a seat. This is kind of the story and how it unfolded. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then I'm listening to myself and I'm like, what world do I live in? And that's what my cousin said. She's like, what do you think is going on out there? I said, I don't know. I do not know. These people are absolute nut jobs, because it just seems like it's gotten worse. And what also happens is, oh, thank you, Medea. Thanks. That's really sweet of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me switch over here so I can see the sticker. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me stay over here because it's more up to date with the chat. I don't know what's going on out there in the world. It's just, these cases get worse. They get more tragic. They get more bizarre, and the reasonings behind them. Now, I'm not trying to say if somebody came to me with like, well, here's some logical reasons behind the D-bill situation, that I'll be like, oh, okay, well, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all. But when you listen to yourself explaining this, because we're kind of like, I'm not saying we're numb to it, but because we've talked about it so much and it still doesn't make sense. But especially someone who's never even heard of it, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, they had this zombie system, and, then this, and then Alex died, and then Zulema was doing some storm stuff over here. And you're just like, it sounds like a really horrible movie that doesn't even make sense, and it doesn't because it's so bad, right? And then I was trying to explain Anthony Todd. I was just explaining videos that I've done recently, and I was like, well, then, I did the Diane Downs thing, and who's that? And I'm like, well, actually, and that one's old, right? This isn't even recent crazy ad stuff. This is, old stuff. And it's like, especially when you have kids and younger kids and stuff like that, and you just think, how do these people do this? How do they do this stuff? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And so let's see I'm just going to read some of your comments here. They are not going to live with each other. Yeah, see, I would wonder if that pack would hold true, Gene. Because, trust me, these two were in it to win it, Lori and Chad. I'm wondering if Dabo's children are still supporting him. That is $1 million question, Tara. I think to a certain degree, it's like, because one thing, too, that I had this whole thing was like, if you look back, like, okay, if you remember, like, when you were growing up and stuff like that, and it's like, when you're growing up and you're younger and you don't, like, know anything different than your parents, and, like, think of, like, those times where you started the realization that your parents are human beings, right? And that they're a person, they have their own shortcomings and this, that, and the other, and they might not know everything and all of that. They're human, right? So a lot of these things, like the Daybell children, or who's the other guy, Barry Morphew, daughters, situations like this, the Michael Peterson thing when that was fresh, not recently. Pardon me. You have to wonder at a certain point, are they still supporting him, number one? And then at what point, pardon me, have they hit those things of, well, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this isn't, is Dad wrong? Did Dad do this? Because you would think they'd have to question this, right? You would have to at nighttime when you put your head down, have the thoughts of, is this possible? And then what are the ramifications of that? If I go down this route, I lose my dad too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Charles' birthday is August 17th, the day after the hearing. Oh, wow, that's wild, Jennifer. I was letting Emma and Garth are still supporting him, but the other three seemed like they were on the fence, but you're on the side. But that being innocent, I felt badly for him. Yeah, Jenny, I agree. Did Melanie and Ian have a baby? I don't know. Does anybody know that? Did Melanie and Ian have a baby? I think they did. God help us. That's a whole other thing. My God. Come on, right? So Matt Berry Morphew. Here's my thing with the Berry Morphew thing. Again, it was like once I really started looking at the evidence of the Barry Morphew thing, and again, doesn't matter if I think he's guilty, not guilty, right, wrong, indifferent. When I started looking at it and now I'm not trying to say, well, I cracked the case right because everybody else is calling this out way before me. And I was just like, no, that's not going to happen. But then I started like going through it and doing the videos and yada, yada. That's when I started being like, yeah, there's like an easy excuse for a lot of this stuff, even though it does not look good. It's like, why are you taking a shovel in the hotel room? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all this stuff. But I was like, y'all, hold on, let me look this up. I doubt Buster will turn his dad's a good old boys club. Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't think he will either. And see, that's the thing. I wonder if when did they say they were going to look for it? Because isn't it thawed out there? That's what makes me wonder. I'm like, haven't they done this yet? Okay, so here I'm trying to find it's called The Prosecutors, I think. I swear to God, I advertise these people all the time. The Prosecutors Podcast. Which I don't have a problem because I like their thing. Okay, if you know, you know. Okay, so it's there's their logo. It's called Prosecutors Podcast. Apparently it's an actual podcast, but maybe they upload it to YouTube, right? Okay, so they go on there and they talk about different cases. A lot of them you'll be familiar with them, all that kind of stuff. Okay, right? So here's the thing. They did a thing on Casey Anthony. Y'all, there's 7 parts to it. And I have eaten every last one of them up. What is interesting is a lot of the things that I had in my head about the case. Now they 100%. I mean, spoiler alert. They think she's guilty. But they're breaking down what happened with the case, why, which you can't really break down why that girl walked. But a lot of the stuff, like where I was like, oh, they overcharged her, and it's like, no, the jury had the option to do all these other charges, and they didn't do it. Right? I mean, it just leaves more questions about the jury where you're like, like what? But, and I'm simplifying it. They go into 7 different episodes about it. If you have any interest, because with the Casey Ann thing, I was like, that was just, I'm kind of over it. But it's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth checking out for sure. Anyways, that's just another case that makes my skin crawl. Debo's kids say he was framed for her asphyxiation. Oh my god. I can't. Debo kids also thought Chad didn't understand why he was getting arrested and looked confused, so he knows how to play. Yeah, that's the thing. Pardon me. And Alice is saying, yeah, he knows how to play them. Clearly, Chad is good at this, right? I mean, look at what people have been lapping up from him for quite some time. I mean, he knows how to play people. He knows how to play people. Period. End of story. Period. Okay, I know I said bye earlier and then I kept talking, but now I got to go. I have to be at work early. So, y'all, we'll meet back up to talk about the Daybell case. I'll probably just do a little live chat around everybody else's live chats, and God knows when it will be. It'll probably be late at nighttime because I work all day long, so we can talk about it, express our opinions, all that. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the conversation, the community, and and I already said it, the conversation. I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to y'all. And that's it. Have a great week ahead of you. Thank you again, everybody. And until the next time we meet around the computer, I'll see y'all soon. Hasta la vista, Silver Squad. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later, alligator.